How you doing, jerk-offs? We are back to our regular schedule, kind of. It's a Tuesday. I got an episode for you, a hot new ep in 2 parts. The second part will be released on Thursday. Chatting with Phil Nichol. Phil Nichol, the man, the myth, the former comedy band member. You know how some comedians, they're not just musical comedians, they form a goddamn band. Well, that's what Phil was. He was part of Corky and the Juice Pigs, a band that headlined all over the world, brought a punk rock approach to comedy, initially where he's from in Canada, then storming Australia and New Zealand before being part of Mad TV in LA. They have since broken up, and Phil has gone on to be an absolutely amazing solo performer who has toured shows all around the world. His one-man shows, very much in that Edinburgh style, in addition to working regularly in the goddamn theater. That's right, the theater. You know how in America, every now and again, a comedian will have like a one-man show they do off-Broadway? Like they'll just kind of do it in a theater. Well, Phil was in like an actual theatrical production. Not just one, several. I'm going to say at least seven different productions, as well as appearing on TV and all that stuff. He has one of the most varied careers that I'm aware of, one of the most all-round careers that I've heard of, and I was very excited that he took the time to chat to me and you by association. You guys are involved in the chat as well. Thank you for continuing to listen in. I'm okay. Is that do you guys care? I think you care. I think you're interested in where I'm at. I'm okay. I'm a little bit sick. I've just had that month where I've been in Europe 3 times. A triple Europe, the anti-Brexit. That's what I was doing. I was bringing comedy to the beautiful European people that the UK are trying so hard to avoid. I don't really know why. I mean, the only thing that I really like cultural difference that I saw was in Poland when we went to Subway and Subway didn't have meatballs as a topping on the sub. That's a fucking mess. I think meatball is probably like the basic Subway topping. I don't know. Some people might disagree. Ray Badrin, obviously, being on this podcast, a big Subway enthusiast, he may disagree, but I think meatballs are a staple. That's what all the other toppings, they came about because people didn't want meatball that one time and they wanted options, and Subway launched that. But in Poland, absolutely no meatball. I think it's weird to me because like Poland seems like the kind of place where meatballs are readily available. Maybe that's why. Maybe like they're like, hey, we're not going to have these weird Subway meatballs. We got our proper Polish meatballs, like this goulash kind of deal. I don't know if Poland's goulash. I think it is. I don't know. They seem like a healthy group of people. They seem like East enough. Like I know they're not Eastern Europe, they're Central Europe, but like goulash. They're goulash. It's available there, I would say. But yeah, I did those shows out there. Poland was lovely. They have like this huge comedy circuit over there. That's one thing that I recommend anybody to do. I might have said this before, but if you haven't, just kind of go on Instagram, go #comedy, and then look at the results, and you'll see the vast majority of them not in English. Like I think I definitely fall victim to that. Like I think comedy happens in English just because the tradition of it is in English. But if you look at that, like the bulk of like the weird little sketches, like the different comedy shows being promoted, I would say the majority of them aren't in English. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of English there, but there's just so much out there in different languages. And Poland is like the absolute epitome of that. Because the guy put me up, I should give him a shout out, Peter Zamowski. I think I'm saying that right. They didn't let me introduce him, obviously, because I'd fuck up the name, but Peter, or Piotrek, I think he goes by his Polish name when he performs, Piotrek Zamowski. Yeah, he and his mates are absolutely killing it out there. He was telling me he does shows every other night. They're their own shows. He reckons there's like 100 comedians in Poland, and they perform in Polish, and about 40% of them do it professionally. Yeah, 40% do it professionally. That's fucking mind-blowing. I would say in the UK, maybe 1% of comedians do it professionally, like maybe one, but 40% in Poland, just performing live. It's a new art form out there. Like, people are still really excited about it. And if the audience on the Thursday is anything to go by, they're a great crowd. I saw him do a show in Polish. I don't speak any Polish. Obviously, if I spoke any Polish, I'd be in Poland right now, making that sweet 40% professional money. Like 40%, that's crazy. But yeah, I saw him do a show in Polish, and it's really funny. If you've seen a lot of comedy, you'll know the comedy kind of has a common rhythm. And when you watch it in a foreign language, you still kind of know where to laugh. Even with the other people, like, they're already laughing and stuff, but you just kind of, you know the beats, even though you have no idea what's being said. There's just that kind of universal rhythm of it, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure he just talked about condoms. I did pick up on that. That was the one thing during the set. There was like, it's definitely a joke about like a condom and it being invisible, and like, yeah, I picked up on that. I don't want to say that I'm heaps observant, but I got there. I figured it out. The audience liked it. I liked it too. But yeah, it's nice. Now I'm back in the UK, and I got the proper UK welcome back, out of Poland, all these kind of hip, informed people. And then I'm back into the UK. I go to West London and do like a gig to just these kind of old people, old white people who own shit, just that kind of vibe. And then on the Saturday, I went up to Birmingham, and honestly, I've heard about kind of like rough gigs in the UK, like gigs where it's just the audience is hammered and it's kind of crazy, but like I don't think I'd ever been to one before. Like, I don't think I'd ever performed. I performed it like, so they're like pretty drunk or whatever, but like that proper UK rowdy lads, like, night bus level of just intoxication. That was the Saturday gig I did in Birmingham. And man, when I walked into the room, I thought the show must be running late, because I got there a little bit after the show started. I thought it must be running late. No, it was just the crowd were talking that much during the MC. Like, I didn't even realize that a show was happening. It would just seem like people chatting. And then I realized the lights are on, the stage lights are on, the house lights were down, and this was the show. And I was like, holy shit. And look, I'll be honest with you guys, because you deserve honesty from me. I ate it. Oh man, I was on in the middle, which is usually the cushy spot. It's the good spot. Ask any comedian, they want that sweet middle. It's usually easy, but these guys, I mean, they didn't hate me, that's for damn sure, but they did not pay much attention. I think about 8 minutes into my 20, they were like, wait a second, this guy isn't actually a beer, and then just kind of got back to drinking. And they had like the long table thing, like like comedy with tables. I think it's okay if it's a small table and they face forward, like they face the stage. I think that's fine, like almost preferable. I like people having a table to put stuff on. But when it's the long tables down the middle of the room, the people are facing each other, they have to turn to look at you. It's never good. It's never a good time, because eventually, if they're that drunk, they will just look at each other for a second and then realize that they can talk and not look at you, and then they just start talking, and then occasionally they'll check in, as opposed to the other way around. Like at the start, they're looking at you and they're occasionally checking in with their friend, being like, that was kind of funny, right? Yeah, cool. That was racist? No, I don't think it was racist. And they're checking back in. But after a while, they're just looking at each other and occasionally checking in with you, being like, same guy? Yep, same guy. Fuck him. And then just go back in. Anyway, felt good. Felt good to bomb. You gotta get some bombs in, man. If you're nailing every gig in every part of the UK, we have already, I think, at this point, 21 episodes in, established that the UK is a pretty diverse place, a lot of different areas. I think if you are just consistently nailing every gig, you're probably not saying anything too interesting, or at least saying something like so kind of generic. I'm not saying there's not a space for that. I'm not saying there's not a value to that. But personally, I want to alienate some people. You know what I mean? You got to alienate some people. Like, even, some people don't like Pink Floyd, right? Some people don't like Zeppelin. Like, if you're a band that everybody likes, I don't even know. Like Maroon 5? Not after the Super Bowl. Oh man, that was great. That was great. Just like watching them try, just watching them have a red hot go. Nothing against Maroon 5, you know, they're killing it. Obviously, they're doing great. But just the Super Bowl halftime show. How do you compete? How do you compete with that shit? Oh man. The only like Katy Perry. I love Katy Perry's go around. Then I was watching a few of them yesterday. Bruno Mars. I couldn't tell you a single Bruno Mars song, but goddamn, he's got some kind of charisma. He's got something going for him. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic. We got a great episode for you. Before I get into that, just as always, if you like the podcast, please tell someone. That's my new marketing campaign in 2019. We're going to keep it grassroots. I'm just going to tell you to tell another person. Be like, hey, co-worker, hey, person who just bought a new pair of headphones. Maybe you should check out the Union Jack Off. Maybe get on their Facebook page. You can see the updates. Subscribe to it. We're on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. We're on it all. And also, if you like listening to these kind of podcasts, the comedy kinds, please check out Laughable. It's a great app. We're up on there as a bunch of awesome podcasts. It is the app that I use to listen to podcasts because it's the easiest one. They don't pay me anything or give me anything for saying that. I just genuinely like them as a product. And aside from that, last thing, if you know anyone in Leicester, the home of one of the greatest triumphs, underdog stories in sporting history, the complete opposite of the Super Bowl. If you know anyone in Leicester, I am there on February 10th, which is this coming Sunday. I'm doing a brand new work in progress show. It's going to be a little bit ropey, but I got some good stuff. I think you guys will be interested. I think anyone you know will be interested. It is 5 p.m. at the Brewdog as part of Just the Tonic at Leicester Comedy Festival. It's free entry, or you can pay £5 to reserve a seat. All right, we did it. We're perfect. We're ready to go. Let's dive in to the theater-trained, musically inclined, storytelling comedian legend, Canada's Phil Nichol.
I have a trained...
Just after I give you the compliment.
Trained stage voice.
Okay.
I have trained a trained actor.
Well, look,
You hear every constant ringing to the back of the theater.
I know all of this because I've read your website.
Really?
I have, yeah.
Oh my God, you've read my website? Did you notice that I haven't updated the... I did. I got a certain point and went, oh no, it's 2010. I can't be...
Yeah, I picked like...
No one reads it. Who reads it?
Man, me. Like that. I don't know
you
who
read the
else.
whole thing?
I got it, the whole thing. And I'm glad you said the whole thing because I've never...
It's a long...
I've never seen a more extensive bio. Your bio has chapters.
I know.
There are 5 chapters. And I was like, what is this shit?
And it ends in 2010.
Yeah. Is it 2010?
Why did I do that?
I thought it was like 11 or 12. I wasn't sure.
Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that.
Are you any plans to update? Any plans to let people know?
Well, I probably should update it, actually. I mean, the guy that was doing it with me, James Hingley, who is also tour manager for people like Bridget Christie and Stu Lee. Stu Lee, I know him. Stu Lee.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I can't even bother saying
like, do people call him Stu?
Yeah.
If I meet him, should I call him
Call
Stu?
him Stu. Call him Stu Lee.
Okay.
He loves it. James Hingley did the website. Very good website. If you're looking for a website guy, he's a good go-to guy. He's a lovely man. But he realized he was getting sick of updating it for me because I'm technophobic and useless.
Sure.
So he gave me all the links and the ways to get into the website to change it. And the one time I did try to go in there, suddenly all the fonts were different and like little tiny letters. Wing nuts.
Never again.
You couldn't read it. So
I like that he's like, I'm going to teach Phil how to fish.
Yeah.
And he'll never go hungry.
That's exactly.
And you like hooked yourself in the face and you're like, I'm never throwing a rod out again. Fuck this.
Exactly. That's the one.
I'm just going to stay. Wait, so you haven't updated the website at all since like 2011?
Oh no, the website's been updated. It's actually
just not the bio.
The website has changed. Originally I went for this. It was back before Facebook was quite taken off. I think my website went up. Facebook was on there, but it wasn't the thing.
It wasn't the central.
I mean, now you just message people through Facebook. I used to be really a bit haughty about that and go, if you don't email me, if it's going to be business, I want it on an email because then you can find it easier.
I think that's more over here than any other country I've been to. Keep the email. Like in the States, if you email people, they look at you like you're
really,
saying old-fashioned words.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just like any room, any comedy thing. It's always just message.
I send letters with like wax stamps on them. So
that's how long in the game you are?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
I also challenge people to duels, though. So
really?
I'm really old school.
Shit.
Don't mess with me, man.
That means you got 100%
muskets at dawn.
100% record. You're still here.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like I challenge people to duels. If I'm still here, I'm a fucking winner.
No one's ever taken me on because no one can be bothered getting up at dawn.
That's true.
Who has a musket?
People got
Tony Law.
Tony Law.
That's who's got a musket.
He's got one.
No, I don't.
Oh fuck!
He just seems like the kind of guy that has a musket.
I believed you. I was like, yeah, probably.
More likely to have a hockey stick, pretending it's a musket.
Yeah, but he'd make you believe that it was a musket. He's got that ability.
Sure.
Where was it? Yeah.
It's going to be that kind of conversation.
I got derailed by Tony Law. No, don't worry.
Everybody gets derailed by Tony Law.
Yeah.
Tony Law gets derailed by Tony Law.
I have seen that happen live.
Yeah, exactly. It's the joy of Tony Law.
But no,
I like that title.
The Joy of Tony Law?
Yeah, I'm going to sell it to him.
Quick,
I'm going to Google it. I'm going to patent it.
Patent? Yeah, yeah.
Copyright?
Copyright.
TM.
Trademark.
Trademark The Joy of Tony Law.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I could write a biography.
The Joy of Tony Law?
Yeah.
Like, would it...
It's like The Joy of Sex, but with pictures of him. Oh, no, wait a minute.
That's weird. This is
drawings of a guy with a beard.
Yeah, just
with a musket.
Did the that would be a good book. It's just on your coffee table. It's like, what's the joy of Tony Law? Well, it's a bearded man with a.
Here's him skinning a raccoon.
Oh, jeez.
That's a drawing, though.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was like, taxidermy. I've seen more of that over here than I've ever seen anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
I was just in the goddamn Netherlands. They loved a bit of taxidermy.
Do they?
Yeah, like the piece of it. I thought they were above it.
I thought they were above it too. Well, they're above a lot of things. They're so tall. But
hey,
comedy working.
I
we can edit this,
man.
right?
Yeah, of course. We'll edit out the laughter. There's too much.
Too much.
We're trying to have a conversation.
I didn't realize he loved taxidermy in the Netherlands. Wow.
I just saw quite a piece of it, and then there's just a place up here that like it seems it's one of those bars where it's like, ooh, it's a dingy bar that's closed down. Ooh, and then you like knock on the door and it's like, you got to be on the list and you got to know the guy.
Wow.
It's up the road. Yeah. My friend like manages there. So he's like, come get a drink. And it was all taxidermy.
Weird.
And like butterfly species. There's a room of butterflies.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
That's butterflies. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's more scientific.
Not like alive though. Sorry. I don't get the wrong idea.
Scientific.
Yeah.
There was a live butterfly enclosure at the zoo. I don't know if it's still there. You ever been in there?
No,
it's beautiful. I don't know if it's the
London Zoo.
You go through those little plastic drapes, the kind that you get in a convenience shop in Australia. you know the plastic drape.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
the thing,
because we have flies that we need to keep out.
We got flies.
See, over here, it's just like come in.
When you're walking out with your burger and with an egg on it, you got to make sure there's
stereotyping my
people. It's not a stereotype. It's one of the things I loved about Australia. I'm part Australian.
You're part Australian.
Yeah, I married an Australian.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Does that make me Australian, having my winger and a...
Australian in law.
Australian in law. Well, yeah. I never... She got her Canadian citizenship just as we broke up, and I never got my Australian. I could have been a citizen of the world.
Did she know the breakup was happening? And it's like, I want to get that sweet Australian... sweet Canadian. Sweet Canadian,
yeah.
What is the Canadian... Does it have any extra benefits?
You get to live in Canada?
Apart from that. It's like I figure Australia, Canada, pretty much they would be the most level.
You can go. You're Canadian with the Canadian passport. You can go in and out of the United States without
that.
You can cross the border with your Canadian ID
without that visa waiver.
They might have changed that now, though. I've been away for a long time.
How long?
22 years.
22 years out of the Canada.
Yeah.
Any plans to go back?
Well, I'm going back in April for my mum's 90th birthday.
Your mum's 90.
Yeah, my mum
Holy
was 90.
Shit! So you're gonna clock it up.
Yeah, my dad was 87 yesterday.
87 yesterday.
Depending on when this podcast goes out.
Well,
my dad is
sorry to
Phil's now
dad.
94. If your podcasts are anything like my podcast, they just never go out.
Yeah, I got a big back catalog. You have no idea.
Have you listened to our podcast?
No,
it's not in the bio, not in the Phil Nichol bio.
Yeah, I stuck with the bio.
That could have been chapter 7.
The Phil Nichol podcast.
It's called Zen with Mike Wilmot.
Zen with Mike Wilmot.
Yeah, which is so appalling. I don't even appear in it as myself.
What?
In the Zen with Mike Wilmot podcast, it's co-hosted by a guy called Phil Watkinson.
Phil Watkinson?
Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
Son of Watkinson.
You don't want to lend your name to Mike Wilmot's podcast.
No.
You're just like,
no way.
Mike, I don't want to give you the leg up.
No chance.
That's nice.
I pretend, and in the last season, on the last episode, Phil Watkinson quit.
He quit?
So I had to step in because I'm an actor. I'm Phil Nichol, professional actor.
Of course. So you had to step in to be Phil
Watkinson.
Watkinson.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you're listening to this podcast, immediately turn it off now and go to Zen with Mike Wilmot and listen to all of them.
I mean, I was wondering why you agreed to be on this podcast, but now I realize...
It's the only reason I'm on everybody's podcast.
Yeah, you just
every single podcast. Turn this off and put on Zen with Mike Wilmot now. Episode 4. It's the best one.
Episode 4? Where can they find it? Plug it. Why not? Give it the full plug.
It's on Podomatic.
Podomatic. There you go. Well, look, I'm here with Phil Nichol. Are you Phil Nichol on this one?
I sure am.
Great.
I wouldn't be acting on this.
Oh, thank God. Yeah,
but I do have an actor's voice.
You do?
I have a stage voice. I'm actually 400 yards from the microphone.
Yeah. Just like, I want everyone at home to know this.
Look,
and
see if I can do this. I will step backwards and continue to remain the same volume as I get further and further away.
That's actually fucking insane.
It's ringing.
No, but like it stayed on the same level.
You're lying to me.
I'm not.
You are.
No, I can you not see that I'm fucking confused? I don't know how you did that. Like, I've had so many people on here who are sitting at the microphone and it
and
goes up and down.
All right.
But that actually worked.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually so in tune with my electronics. I'm a part robot.
You're part robot?
Yeah.
Wow, which part?
My mouth.
Wow.
You caught me off guard there.
I
I didn't think you were going to ask that kind of question.
Look,
I thought we were like, oh, you're a robot. What do you do for lunch?
I'm an investigative journalist.
How
I
do
want
you
to know
eat?
which
Do you
bit.
eat food if you're a robot?
I'm still kind of in shock about the microphone.
You're like
thing.
the Louis Theroux of podcasts.
What is that? That's a compliment, right? He's doing.
Yeah, of course it is.
He's doing quite well.
Yeah, he was doing really well.
One of my friends
He
finds
doesn't have to do podcasts. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Hey,
he's not at that level.
He'd love to be on here.
He had to start somewhere, though.
Yeah, if he came up when podcasts were out, there's no way he wouldn't have had a podcast. Come on,
He's probably got a podcast.
Probably does.
Knowing Louis,
everyone's kind of got one.
He interviews everybody. He's maybe one of the best at it.
Is he? Do you reckon?
Yeah, because he always has that confused look of like, ooh, wow, I'm
Yeah.
really interested in what you're saying, but I'm kind of confused by it.
Yeah.
Like, he does that look to the camera without looking to the camera. You just know,
That's the
you
move.
know by looking at him, he's kind of going, I'm looking at the camera now.
Yeah.
But even though he's looking someone in the face and thinking, this
Yeah.
person's a nutcase.
I reckon that's his cameraman as well. You know, he's got his guy. He's
Yeah.
got his guy that he takes everywhere. So you got to get that look.
Imagine when the doors close in the van. Oh my God!
That person was fucking crazy. Oh my God.
Did you see the documentary about, oh no, I don't want to go there.
Don't want to go there?
Documentary about, what's his name, Jimmy Savile?
No.
No.
I think I'm like incredibly disconnected from UK culture.
He's just a pedophile.
I know he's just a pedophile.
Just a pedophile. He was.
Was he like
he was on primetime TV. He was doing it like.
Was he like your best one though? Like, you know how like every kind of
be like,
country has the best pedophile?
Yeah, no, but he'd be like, who's one of your guys?
Rolf Harris is our guy.
No, yeah, Rolf Harris is your guy, yeah. But who's on primetime TV? Who's the guy with the hat?
The guy with the hat. Oh, Molly Meldrum.
Be like Molly Meldrum.
Holy shit.
That's exactly right.
Whoa,
imagine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. By the way,
no, Molly Meldrum.
Let's caveat that. I'm not saying
national treasure.
Molly
No way.
Well, that's exactly what it's like. Imagine him going under that hat. He's got loads of kids. That's why he wears the hat. His hat. Molly Meldrum's hat's getting pretty big. Oh. He did go to that hospital last week.
Whoa, hey. When did that happen? Shit, when he fell off the ladder. That was a few years ago, Phil Nichol.
Okay.
When we released this
fell off the ladder.
When we release this podcast in 2025, that's going to be a very dated reference. Right? I want you to know that.
Okay.
But all right. I want to get to the beginning because you reading the chapters of your bio. Multiple page bio I've ever seen.
And you can swipe on the computer. It's lovely the way it's written. You can just you can swipe it. Did you notice that?
I scrolled to the bottom. There was a little next chapter.
Next chapter. You scroll to the bottom.
Little button.
Oh, it's actually if you click on it and move it, it moves like it used to move like a book. You used to be able to read it like a book.
Maybe on the iPhone it'll do that.
Oh, maybe.
Little touchy screeny.
I think so. It should do on the computer. It's like a grab, like your little hand grabs.
Yeah.
It
So you Steve Jobs it.
Turns the pages, yeah.
Because that was Steve Jobs' big, that's his move.
That's his move. The pages. And I thought, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it like a little book.
That's nice. I mean, I like that you did it like a book because there's feelings in there as well.
Is there?
Yeah. There's that was the lowest point. We're going to get to that. That's foreshadowing. That's to pump up the rest of the pot.
Right.
You were born in Scotland.
I was born in a place called Cumbernauld.
Cumbernauld.
Yeah. And there was an ad campaign. If you're Scottish, you will know it. I say, what's it called? Cumbernauld. And that was the ad campaign. So they try to get all the people out of the slums in downtown Glasgow into the countryside, which they did.
So you were countryside, Cumbernauld countryside.
Well, it's a suburb now, yeah.
Okay.
It was a new town designed by some Italian designer. And it's got loads of cul-de-sacs, and none of the roads go anywhere. It's renowned for being impossible to get out of.
Who would have thought an Italian guy would nail the road?
Exactly. When in Rome, go somewhere else.
All roads lead to Cumbernauld because you cannot escape Cumbernauld.
All roads lead out of Rome.
All right, so you started there. You got a Scottish mother. Wait, Scottish mother, Cumbernauld. Scottish mother who's 90.
My Scottish mother is 90. My Scottish father is 87.
But Scottish people are supposed to die young, Phil Nichol. I don't know if you know.
They moved to Canada 40 years ago.
That's
and
breathe
trick. That sweet, sweet Canadian air.
Yeah, with the fruit. You have the
apples.
Apples.
We have
full
apples.
Size.
We don't have a lot of fruit.
Yeah, coming
we have apples.
Coming here from Australia.
Tobacco.
Being absurd because in Australia there's fruit.
Yeah.
It's around and you eat it. I just did this run of gigs with Ian Coppinger.
Yeah.
Coppinger.
You can call him Coppinger as well.
Yeah, I felt bad because I did ask and then I forgot and then I said it in a recorded fashion.
Oh no.
Fuck.
No.
Sorry.
And what did he say in Coppinger?
Well, he had this joke about Australians eating fruit and how it blew his mind. And it's it's kind of true. We just eat it, whereas in Scotland you get fun size apples.
Yeah. He's Irish.
He's Irish. I know.
Oh, right.
I'm aware. I didn't know. He was just talking about
making sure
Europe.
You knew that. Since you knew he was Coppinger.
Yeah.
You might have also thought he was Irish.
Okay.
The Irish didn't even have potatoes, man. Why are you rubbing it in?
I'm not
Look
rubbing.
Look what we've got it. Bananas. And they didn't even have potatoes.
Look, they had potatoes.
They didn't even have things that grew in the ground. Carrots, no.
Carrots, no?
No. Parsnips, no. Well, I'm assuming if there was a potato famine, the same thing would eat all the... Otherwise, they'd be eating carrots.
That's true.
Hey,
it wouldn't be called the potato famine. It'd be called the carrot cake.
The carrot. That's right. The carrot. The carrot. Yep.
Old school singers. This is nice. I feel a bit old timey.
Yeah, well, that's because you're with an old man.
That's not
an old man of comedy.
I was shocked at how long you've been doing comedy. I thought you had not just. Looking at you, I just didn't think you. I didn't think you would have been able to perform comedy because you started 93,
87,
87. Wow. Okay.
Right. That's when I started doing comedy with Corky the Juice Pigs.
Yes, the band.
Yeah, I did theater sports when I was about 14 or 15.
Yeah.
So that would have been 81.
81.
So I started about 81.
Jesus, because I thought you were 40 something.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah.
I'm
74.
Yeah, and your mum's 90. I mean,
my mum's 90.
Yeah, if you're 42 and your mum's 90, she would have had you late
when she was 26.
But yeah, no, I was kind of shocked. But yeah, so started in Scotland, moved to Canada. Age 10?
Yeah, no, I moved to Canada age 4.5.
Age 4.5.
And then I was there for about 10 months while I have two older brothers. We were at school. Uh-huh. I went to kindergarten, which is the Canadian pre-grade 1. I don't know if you have them in Australia.
Yeah, Australia's there's preschool and kindergarten.
Well, we have kindergarten. Yeah, we have preschool and kindergarten. And then in Britain they don't have kindergarten. They just have primary 1.
Primary 1.
Yeah.
Is that how you start? Primary 1.
It was at the time anyway.
Interesting.
I don't know what they do now. So primary 1 is and I was born in May.
You're born in May? I was born in May.
May 17.
May 29.
Yeah, my God, same as Hitler.
Really?
No.
I got done.
I don't know.
Got done.
You should know.
Yeah.
Doesn't it come up in your horoscope?
I know. I just know that I'm born the same day Daniel Tosh.
Oh, hey Daniel.
Yeah,
do you guys get together and
we hang out.
Shit.
Now, apparently,
does he speak to you?
Apparently, he's a very shy man. I've heard that.
All right.
I've heard that. Very keeps himself.
All right.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah, I didn't believe.
Anyway, back to my podcast.
I didn't know he was related to Peter Tosh from the Bob Marley and the Wailers as well.
Is that true?
No.
Ah.
I just make stuff up twice in a row.
So many facts.
Yeah.
I'm in this podcast to goddamn. I'm in this podcast to bloody learn about you, and you give me fake facts.
Oh, sorry.
Thank God I did my research.
I think I'm a bit too. I get easily distracted.
Yeah.
So people listening to this podcast will be people that are really easily distracted because I can't keep a conversation going.
No, I like to think we're making headway. We're moving it forward.
I'm moving forward in my life. I lived in Canada basically for a year. And I don't remember much of that year. And then I moved back to Scotland. My parents actually moved back to Cumbernauld, which I was what's the technical term for it? Shitehole.
Aha!
Glasgow is a shithole.
Yeah.
Glasgow isn't. Cumbernauld is.
Cumbernauld is shithole.
Glasgow is one of my favorite cities in the world.
Yeah, I've never been to Glasgow.
Never been to Glasgow?
Yeah, I've heard nothing but mixed things.
You will love it. Mixed? No, it's great. It's like Edinburgh but better.
Ah, really?
Edinburgh is beautiful. Edinburgh is a very pretty city.
Yeah.
But I think for culture and arts, Glasgow, there's no comparison.
Got more flavour.
So you got the Edinburgh Festival in Edinburgh in August, which is one I've been there every year but two since 1990.
Yeah.
So I do love Edinburgh. Don't take that the wrong way. But Glasgow, maybe it's because my hometown, but Glasgow smiles better.
Smiles better.
Yeah.
No, that's a hell of a compliment for Scottish people.
Yeah, exactly.
Picking up the teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's because they were drunk and they went, Glasgow smiles better. Glasgow smiles better, mate.
Wait.
And also there's a thing about the Glasgow smile, a joke. You know the Glasgow smile?
What's the Glasgow smile?
They used to put like your credit, if you put a credit card in your mouth, then push your cheeks together. So you see guys with scars and make them look like the Joker.
Yeah, I have. That's got many names. You know, there's things like Glasgow smile, Millwall smile. Like,
the Millwall smile.
Like, yeah, it's like it's
right.
like I like that everywhere.
Yeah, there's Glasgow kiss, French kiss,
all these kisses.
Yeah.
But so, you moved back to You moved back to Scotland.
Moved back to Scotland. Back to an even worse place.
Yes.
And I'm blessed my parents, they were trying to make the best. I don't think my mother enjoyed Canada when she was there. It was freezing cold.
Right.
And I only found this out afterwards. My father had quite a severe car accident and hurt himself when he first got there because the roads, the traffic lights the road signs are at different places. So in Britain, they're on posts. And Canada, because the roads are so wide, they have to go up and over. So if you're not looking up, you don't see them. So my dad went through an intersection and got hit.
That actually makes sense to me because like they would be kind of higher up because you're kind of coming from further. There's like more space. Whereas here it's all kind of crunched in.
Same in Oz. I think they got them up over on like a some just main roads are like three. It's not a highway. It's just a road, but it's got 2 or 4 lanes.
Yeah.
So they have them up above.
Yeah, makes because I find driving here very hard because you don't know where to look.
Yeah,
because you got your
You're right.
This is the pocket. Oh, you don't drive ever?
No.
Man, interesting.
Never driven.
Not once.
Never driven a car. Well, I mean, I have driven twice when I was drunk. Once on my birthday in Moose Jaw, Alberta.
Really? I thought that was a joke. I thought that was just like I've never driven, but I've driven drunk.
No, driven. Yeah, no. We'd done a gig. Some really horrible place in Moose Jaw.
Nice.
Is it Moose Jaw or Medicine Hat?
Is it actually called Moose Jaw?
Moose Jaw, yeah.
Like a Canadian town called Moose Jaw?
Yeah, Moose Jaw. Or Medicine Hat. Why are you laughing at that? Well, you've got Warrumbala.
Yeah, I know.
Mate.
What?
What do you mean what? You've got like...
I'm not... And you should laugh at that.
Yeah.
You should. Just like I get to laugh at Moose Jaw.
NIMBY.
What about Wagga Wagga? Why don't you use the good ones?
Oh, we've got Wawa.
Wawa?
Yeah, which means goose.
Wagga Wagga.
Native for a goose.
Wagga Wagga means crows because in that like indigenous language, instead of doing a plural on the word, you just say the word twice to indicate plural.
Yeah, that's
so Wagga is crow, then Wagga Wagga. Really? Really?
Yeah. Is that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
A couple of indigenous populations other side of the world.
Exactly. It's almost like they spoke the same language at one point.
At one point. And now they speak...
Oh, sorry, that wasn't... That sounded like I was doing a language thing and I wasn't. I was trying to do more of a... Oh, no.
Dear.
That's horrible. I was trying to do like a shake of the head.
I know.
Can't believe it. But it sounded like me doing it. Oh, no.
I've never seen someone remember that Twitter exists so quickly. Just like, fuck. Oh, no. I knew what you were doing.
Oh, you knew what I was doing?
I knew what you were doing. I was in the room.
I was trying to do that, but then I did it with
you were so shocked, but you didn't want to do the mic. No. It's okay.
Anyway.
Phil Nichol, everything's fine. Nobody thinks that you think that's how indigenous people talk.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
But that's really weird. That's the same into... Maybe that's a more common language feature than we're aware of.
Yeah. We're aware of?
We're aware
Where's
of.
that? It sounds like an Aussie place. Are you been aware of, mate?
That actually, in fairness, does sound like an Aussie place. I'll concede that on behalf of my people. That's the thing do they use Indigenous place names in Canada much?
Yeah, that's well. Imagine that Moose Jaw is the English translation of what that is.
Oh, okay.
There are. There's a lot of French places as well, like Sault Ste. Marie, which is in Ontario.
Because I'm just always with Australia. I'm like, why don't we use the Indigenous place names? Why do we use the same name like Newcastle? We got a Newcastle. Let's just call it an Indigenous thing. Yeah, we don't need to double. You know? Like it doesn't.
You could call it. Sorry, I should probably leave that joke alone.
I mean,
it wasn't funny originally, and now so that's the kind of comedian I am. Though, if I get on a thing that makes me I just can't let it go.
Yeah,
even though I know it's wrong. I've very skewed morals. Morals.
Morals?
What's the difference between Moors and morals? Any idea?
Moors?
Yeah, Moors.
Didn't they invade like Spain?
And Italy. Don't tell that to the mafia.
Really?
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what social mores are. That's not a term that I'm aware of.
All right, social mores. I mean, it's just when you do the right thing. For instance, getting up to give your seat to a pregnant woman or someone who looks like they need a seat. That's just expected of you.
That's a social more.
Yeah, I believe so. Whereas moral would be getting up and punching them as hard as you can because you can't have children of your own.
Have you ever thought about...
I didn't say they were good morals.
Have you ever thought
They're just
about...
my morals, okay? All right, it's just my morals.
Lecturing university? Like ethics? I think you'd kill
ethics is different altogether.
That's true.
Ethics is hypothetical.
Say what's wrong with this country? Too many ethics.
Hey, there you go. Send the ethics home.
I feel, for some reason, I think in trying to keep you in line, I've become an old-timey radio host.
I know, and I've become an old-timey comedian. Making off-color jokes.
I feel like
off-color remarks.
You know, those interviews between Conan O'Brien and Norm, where just like Norm's just taking it as far away as he can, and Conan's like, "Please, just come back to the couch.
Okay,
come back to the show."
So I moved to Canada.
No.
We moved back to Canada when I was about 8.5.
Oh, okay. So it's like a 1 year just because it was real hard initially.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck it, second go.
I think my mother just missed things. And my father, the only grandparent that I remember was my father's mother, who's rather old at the time.
Yeah.
And I think they had left her in Scotland. And I think she was being looked after. We had aunts and people look after her. But I think my father felt guilty. So all those reasons meant we went back to Cumbernauld. And then I did about 2 years there. And then this is like in 1970, in the 70s. Canada was giving bursaries and money to people to come to...
Right.
To immigrate there.
That kind of...
the exact opposite of what's happening in this country. Because they realized that...
The £10 pom thing like we had in Australia, like £2 pom, whatever it was, people come out real cheap.
Similar to that. They were looking for skilled laborers. So my father's a cabinet maker by trade.
Yeah.
And so they offered him money to come and start his own business. Which for a builder from Scotland, that was amazing.
Of course,
and he'd been out there when he was young, when he was like in his 1920s, not in the 1920s, when he was 19 or 20. He'd gone to Canada, which is why he knew it was the land of milk and honey.
Right.
So at one point, the pound was £4 to the dollar.
Wow.
So basically he decided to get us back out there, and I think he really liked it.
Yeah.
And then he took his mother with us. So we went
the second time.
Yeah,
nice.
And then within about between age 9 and about 9 and age 12, 11, I moved like 3 or 4 times to a couple of different schools, and then we ended up in Pickering, which is like Cumbernauld but with a nuclear plant.
Oh, cool. So it's the lights are brighter.
Yeah, they're like you're moving on up.
Okay.
And Pickering is home of the world's largest nuclear plant. It was 8 reactors big when we got there. It's about a 50-minute drive to downtown Toronto.
Wow, okay.
Since I've moved away, they've been slowly concreting it up because I think they've realized, well, that's a target.
8 reactors.
We were want to destroy Toronto.
Yeah. 8 reactors.
In that corridor, Toronto's about 3.5 million people. From Oshawa to Niagara, there's about 8 million people living in that corridor.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty big.
So what's Canada's population?
Like 40? Not quite. I don't think so. Well, it might be now. 39. Should we Google it?
Nah, I never.
Not 39. Okay, I should have said 39,472,000, and then people wouldn't even bother. 72.
Yeah.
72 is if I know the exact.
Yeah, exactly. When you're
details.
specific, people are like, well, he gets
Yeah,
it.
you must know.
Yeah, but like, so yeah, you kind of, and then you grew up in the Canada. Because I just find you like I was joking about it. The energy of the film Nichol is well known.
Yeah,
I think, and like
nothing to do with the nuclear plant.
Nothing to do with the nuclear plant
whatsoever.
Didn't lick a little neutron.
I have a little joke when people say, "No effect on me whatsoever." Nothing I can show you, and that's a little icebreaker in any polite conversation post show with punters who are like, "Where are you from?" Which is
I like that you've got post show gear.
it's just you end up with the same questions.
I know, of course.
You're being nice to the.
That's experience. That's experience paying off. Being like, look, I'm going to have these conversations on my little post show joke.
Because
if you do the joke and they laugh, it's a great exit.
It's great. Yeah, I know. Oh, there's my bus. Bus.
Because like if you're answering really earnestly, they're kind of like, oh, cool. Let's keep hanging.
Yeah, let's keep hanging because we need to know more about the Canadian nuclear power system.
Yeah, 8 reactors, really 8. Just like
you know the CANDU reactors. Those were CANDU reactors. They're most successfully safe reactors in the world.
Really?
Yeah. And they're the ones that we sold to Pakistan, which allowed them to make nuclear power or nuclear weapons.
That's nice.
Well done, Canada.
Good on you, Canada. Woo-hoo. Helping out, always.
Helping out.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
Yeah. evening up the Middle East there, eh?
Yeah, I mean, India, Pakistan. You can't have India winning.
That was me being a really ignorant Canadian. Going, yeah, the Middle East out there in India.
Ah, okay.
See, I was doing that on purpose.
Right. I'm
not coming across well, and sorry, I keep interrupting you, but I'm not coming across well in this. I'm coming across as racist, old schooly, immoral.
I mean, I really don't think so. I think you're coming across great.
I'm going to do some PR for myself now. So, Daniel, how's your shows been going?
They've been going good. They've been nice. Well, the reason I didn't
Where'd you play last?
The Hague.
What?
Yeah.
I love that.
You love The Hague?
I haven't been in The Hague in a while, but those are nice gigs. Did you go out to the coast?
No, I didn't. The Hague beach. They told me they had a beach.
Yeah, it's a big beach.
As an Australian, I refuse to go to anywhere else's beach because it's disappointing. Like it just is.
What? Not even the beach in Thailand?
Like I have been to the beach. You're absolutely right.
Did you go to the beach?
Yeah. What's that called again? Shit.
It's called the beach.
Koh Phi Phi?
Koh Phi Phi.
Yeah. I love it. Just like that's Australians. We just know the names of Thai beaches and shit. It's just like, yeah,
exactly.
We went there.
Yeah, but it's still not like
There's no waves.
And also you can't get the endless like miles of beach. It's not going to be anywhere.
Well, I think most people don't really understand like an Australian beach where it's just like it's as beach as far as you can see.
Yeah.
And it's all nice.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like the crazy bit, and it's just all up and down.
We kind of have a Canadian version of it, but ours are more like rough.
Right. There's like you got to colder, yeah.
But in the summer, there's beaches. There's beaches.
Vancouver's the good beach.
Vancouver's a rocky beaches, but you go to Vancouver Island. There's some sand
stuff.
Beach.
I mean,
the Atlantic is the sand beach side.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. But you were Toronto. That's the thing I didn't catch about.
We have beaches in Toronto because the Lake Ontario is so vast. Only Australians would really understand the size of it.
Yeah.
But the Lake Ontario is the second smallest. There's only Lake Erie is the only one that's smaller.
Yeah.
Lake Ontario is so vast you can't see America on the other side. On a really clear night, you might be able to see a bit of buffalo.
Wow, that's that big. You just can't even.
You can't even see across.
Just see the goddamn horizon.
And so Lake Superior was massive. It's like an ocean.
I really hate the way they name lakes. I've never enjoyed it. Like Lake Superior, I hate that shit.
Yeah, really?
I like Salt Lake City. I enjoyed that.
I always thought Lake Superior was Native Canadian. It sounds like Superior.
Really?
Yeah, but I might be making that up. But because we have Lake Huron, which is named after the Huron tribe.
Okay, so you thought maybe I've just dissed this indigenous Canadian lake name.
Ontario is Canadian, is a native word.
Native word, yeah. Right? Interesting.
And Erie I think they're all tribes.
That just shows.
So I think Superior was a tribe.
Must be. Well, look, we'll put it. I always do a little thing at the end. I have like the links and stuff.
Okay.
To just give people the closure that they need.
Yeah.
They come through this pub. But yeah, I've just done that ignorant thing, motherfucker.
No.
I've never been to Canada. I got nothing.
No. You'd be good there.
Good there? That's a good time?
It'd be good for you. There's a lot of good comedy stuff there.
Yeah.
There's the all the fringe festivals you can do. They kind of run around the same time as Edinburgh, though, but through the summer.
Yeah.
But you can link them up. They've actually linked them up so they go from one to another, the fringe festivals.
Oh, they've figured out the run? Like Australia, we got you start at Perth, and then you're Adelaide, and then you're Melbourne, then you're Sydney, then you leave.
Yeah. But being Canadian, they do very... it's all done through a lottery. It is done through a lottery.
For equality?
To get your place. So, it is. You enter a lottery... You pay the entrance fee, and whether you get in or not, the entrance fee gets used to set up the festival.
Right.
So you'll enter, and you can enter as an international act, but there's two pools.
Local lottery,
local Canadians, and then there's international acts, which is a smaller pool.
Yeah.
And they pick so many, and they tell you where the venues is. You were given the venue, and you're given everything's paid for, and you go and do your show, and you make all the money.
Wow. That's a great system.
Yeah, it's a good system.
I think anything that's ever been explained to me about Canada, I've responded with, wow, that's a great system.
It's a good system, yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, we've just legalized marijuana. Good system.
Yeah. Are you a weed guy?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No. I used to be, but it just doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
But I have done, if I go to Amsterdam or something, I might have a little nibble off a muffin or something. But it's still, even then, it's one of those things that I think, I should try that. And then I have it. And I think, oh, no, that's why I don't do it.
I had that exact thing on Sunday. I was like, with my girlfriend, I was like, well, I mean, we could do like mushrooms or something and just kind of wander around. And then it was like kind of raining. And I was like, oh, I've got to get a plane. Like, yeah. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And then you see like the kind of young people going to Amsterdam all just like smoking weed and just being like, man, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it's great.
And then you're just like, I'm 29 now. Like I kind of get it.
You're an old man now.
I am an old man. I feel like I'm a very old man. I feel like you're a very young man. I'm a very old man.
Really?
I would say, yeah. To me, you feel younger than me.
No.
Genuinely.
You think? I don't know why. I made a conscious decision, this for right or wrong.
Yeah.
I made a conscious decision when about 17, 18 years of age. This is going to be hard to explain. I love causing confusion. I think it's like
no one listening to this could possibly understand what you mean.
Tony Law would. I love causing confusion, and it used to tickle me. I'm not as much of a shit disturber as I used to be.
Yeah.
But I used to, because I got picked on. I got bullied a lot because of the background, going from different schools and everything. Being a born again Christian, being all the things that my background like.
Wait, you're a born again Christian?
Yeah.
When?
Fuck yeah.
What, now?
Well,
or
no,
then?
I don't think you can be unborn again.
I thought born again...
I could be a suicide atheist. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I killed my born again Christian self.
And
my parents are devout born again Christians in the Brethren Assembly.
In the Brethren Assembly?
Yeah, which at the time, if you know much about the Brethren, they're the ones that landed on Plymouth Rock.
Right.
The Plymouth Brethren.
Yeah.
It's called Plymouth Rock because they're from Plymouth.
Okay.
The Plymouth Brethren.
And Plymouth Rock. Give me some Plymouth Rock. I got the...
Plymouth Rock is in the States where the first settlers landed in the States.
So is they like kind of like the prudes? Or, like you say like
they're
the people
they're like the Amish or the Amish are Germans. Well, they're like Quakers.
Okay.
So the Brethren there's two strands, the River or the Rock. I almost say Rock Brethren, but the River Brethren were the Irish, and the Plymouth Brethren were I believe the Germans.
Right, and they kind of settled in America and set up their own little communities. Is this like the Ozarks? Are we talking Ozarks?
Yeah, it might be around that. That's the kind of
vibe.
The kind of puritanical craziness.
Okay, and
when I say puritanical, they're not unlike Catholics who are into ceremony and pomp and circumstance. They're the exact opposite. The Brethren believe in quietly that we're all part of a plan, and they're not Calvinistic, so they don't believe in predestination. They believe that we have free will within God's within the creation.
Yeah.
Therefore, you have the ability to change your decision, change your path, and make decisions for yourself. Therefore, you're responsible and will be held accountable at some future date when you're brought before.
Right.
The maker, and you have to answer for yourself.
So
in doing that, it makes you want to advance yourself through being moral for the goodness sake.
Yeah,
not for reward's sake.
Yeah, it's not like an automatic reward. It's like you will just be judged based on your actions, so you should have good actions.
And your good actions actually reward you in that only good actions beget good actions.
Kind of like Uber.
Kind of like Uber. Yeah, so I'm a 5-star Christian.
Are you?
But no.
Well, how's your Uber rating? Do you know?
My rating? I don't know.
I
think it's probably not bad right now, but
I've got a suspiciously high rating. People are quite shocked.
For Uber?
Yeah.
Well, you talk well.
Talk well? You reckon
Yeah.
Here they don't talk to you much. In Australia, like they expect a chat. They expect a big chat.
Do Uber have a podcast?
No.
You could do an Uber podcast.
Uber podcast? Just me and
Uber
drivers?
Just say to the Uber driver, can I do that? You get them to say yes.
Well, there would just be a really long ad for Uber. That's like the whole chat in an Uber. It's just like, is Uber good? Yeah, Uber's great.
But imagine Uber could get behind that.
Maybe.
It'd be huge.
The Uber podcast.
Yeah, something to listen to while you're waiting for the guy to show up.
The Uber. That's the thing. Just like you just play that instead of chatting to the Uber driver,
or
you like outsource the chat.
Yes, exactly. I'll just call it the Uber podcast. It's like Uber podcast,
and just like really heavy metal,
the ultimate podcast.
Yeah,
yeah.
Wait, so are you still? That was great. I like the Christian chat. Are your parents still brethren, like quite devout?
Yeah, very much. But they've gone through a lot of growth. I think Canada's a softer country.
Yeah.
I mean, in exclusive brethren churches, men still sit on one side and women sit on the other side and wear veils. So I mean, it's pretty. I make a joke in my show that they're almost Islamic in their devotion to Jesus.
Ah, okay.
But it's quietly done. They're not like the Baptists who are fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Pentecostals who are speak in tongues and spirit. They believe that it's possible, but they don't tend to.
Yeah.
It's not one of the views they espouse. They kind of stick to themselves. I met some. I talk about it in my show You're Wrong, the tour that I was doing, and I met these two guys at the in the interval. I go out and speak to the audience. I met these two guys. Said, they work in a warehouse quadrant.
Yeah.
Right across from a group of brethren guys, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. They're the most honest people they've ever met. They don't have to sign contracts with them. They just shake a hand. If they say they're going to have this there, thing there at 2, it's there at 2 sometimes.
Wow.
But they tend to they worship. They have like prayer meetings in the middle of the day, but a prayer meeting in a brethren church is just a group of people will just sit quietly.
And just introspectively,
and then maybe if one of them feels moved to get up and say, I was actually contemplating this earlier today, and this Bible verse that came to me, and I just thought it, and then they'll say it, and then they'll sit back down, and there's no need to comment on it, ask about it. They just sit back down and go like that.
That's so fascinating.
And I did that for. I mean, I went to church at least 5 times a week till I was about 14 or 15. Then that's when I started to go, I'm not going anymore. My parents kind of forced me. And then when I was 17, I ran away from home, went to acting school.
You ran away from home?
To get away from it. Well, kind of.
Well, just like you got into...
I got into acting school. My parents didn't... I auditioned for acting school behind my parents' back.
Right.
I was in I was in high school plays and stuff, and I told them that's what I was going to do, and my dad said, no, you're not. And I was like... I am. And he went, you're not. And I was, well, I am going to.
Yeah.
So he refused to, he has spoken to me about this and asked me for forgiveness for him not helping me.
Right.
He would refuse to help me in any way. So I did it anyway.
So you just did it
all
off your own back.
Now they look back. Well, years later, when I had won the comedy award and was taking my mum to Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen, they kind of...
I was just about to bring that up. That would be a great moment. Yeah, because it's in the book. It's in the book that I read online. No, because I was going to ask about that just because that's a great, I don't want to say I told you so kind of moment.
Well,
just like, hey, Dad, you know how you said it wasn't gonna? Here's the fucking Queen.
Well,
this is the Queen.
Yeah, that kind of made them think. I was in a play. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah,
with Christian Slater, who they don't know because they don't watch.
Slater.
They don't watch secular. Yeah,
that's a great reference. Anytime you get to bring up Christian Slater,
me and Slates, man. No, we call him Slater.
Yeah.
But when I was in that show, I was in with like Dave Johns and Steve McCamus and Owen O'Neill, a whole bunch of people, and Ian Carpenter was in it.
Yeah, a lot of comedians.
It was all comedians because it was like the comedians had done a big show the year before at 12 Angry Men.
Yeah,
Owen O'Neill had arranged with a producer called Guy Masterson, and we did it at the Assembly Rooms.
Yeah,
went all over the world, went to Australia, went to the International Festival in Adelaide. Well,
right.
We did all that. The next year was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and they drafted in Christian Slater, and Francis Barber.
Right. Yeah. That's really cool.
And so when I brought my mother and father, they don't really come. They've never seen me do stand up.
To this day?
No, because I don't think they. Yeah, I've got a story about it. Do you want to hear the story about it?
I mean,
it's kind of it's not a routine. It's not a routine. But anyway, I took my parents to the Ivy, which is kind of like a restaurant in London. That's where all of the actors go. It's like a really posh, super posh, can't get a table kind of place.
Right.
I got a table through Nika Burns. Thank you, Nika, to take my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And we sat down, and they've got, the menu is phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
But my mum's Scottish working class. We went, I'll have the shepherd's pie. Cheapest thing in the menu is shepherd's pie. I was going, Mum, you can't have shepherd's pie. You can't come to the Ivy and have shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
My parents don't drink, and I was like, let me buy you something like a glass of champagne or something. And she's like, Mum, I was like, I don't want that. I just have shepherd's pie. And I was like, Mum, you can't make me. We're surrounded by famous actors. My mum doesn't know any of them because they don't really watch secular television. My dad watches building programs, and my mum watches Coronation Street and him sing.
That's it.
She now watches a bit of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I don't know why. I don't think.
Are you serious?
I don't think she realizes they're gay. I don't think she realizes queer means gay. I think she just means that means because queer from her.
They're just a little bit strange.
Well, when she was young, queer meant odd.
Yeah, I get you.
So
but she's got into Queer for the Straight Guy.
Yeah.
That's like my. I think some people don't understand the concept of that show because my housemate was watching it. And he's like, man, I want to get on the show. Maybe I could pretend to be gay. Maybe my girlfriend was like, dude, that's not.
Right. But also, how do you pretend to be gay? You got to go through a selection process.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize how hard I'd have to pretend.
Yeah,
this is my husband, Robert.
We had to fly to a country where they allow gay marriage, and then we got married. And now back.
Exactly.
Australia just got it recently, right? It's still very fresh for us, still brand new. Sure, Canada's had it since like '92.
Yeah, my mum's really into it.
Yeah,
but so we're sitting in the Ivy restaurant, and my parents. So my dad ordered the category, which is the next most expensive thing. If you know, category is like smoked fish and.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a very Scottish thing.
So it's just they've gone one and two.
So, yes, but I said to the waiter came over and they're in bow ties and because and they're so nice to this elderly couple and I was going, my mother, I'm trying to get her to order something like really nice and she just wants the shepherd's pie and the waiter went, oh. The shepherd's pie is the most popular dish on the menu. It's our shepherd's pie is renowned. And my mum hit me going, see, I told you, I'm not that stupid, And it was actually a really nice shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
But they put their knives and forks down, and I was like, your father and I would like to tell you something. Go on, Ian. Go on, Ian. And my dad was saying, well, your mother and I just wanted to apologize. I was like, why? What have you done? What's happened? Here we are. She said, well, we just thought maybe if we had helped you a bit more when you were starting out, that you'd be more, you might be have been done better and be more successful. I said, Dad, we're sitting in the Ivy, in a play with Christian Slater, and I'm about to take Mum to meet the Queen. I think it's how much more successful do you want me to be? But anyway, thank you for that. And I had a little bit of a cry. A wee greet, as the Scots say. It made me cry.
That's really cute.
It's really nice. They'd obviously thought about it. And my mum went, right, at some point during lunch, Ian, you're going to apologize to your son. And I just thought, what a lovely people there. But I mean, there was years where a wilderness period where I only went home out of duty at Christmas and Easter because those are their
Christian holidays as well.
And even then I could not bring myself to go to the church, so they knew something was different about me. But they've come to accept me, I think, and I've written I talked about my mum in almost all my shows because I realized a lot of people, when you start talking about families, my family are actually, my mum and dad are actually really nice. I don't know anyone that doesn't like them. Yeah. It's just that my father, when he was younger, was so passionate about Jesus. It's all he would talk about, and it used to drive me insane.
Well, I mean, he's a bloody cabinet maker.
Yeah.
He's following in the Lord's footsteps,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he used to
get it.
If he bumped, I go, hey, Dad, this is my friend Daniel. Daniel, have you ever considered taking Jesus as Lord and Savior? That's not exaggeration. Yeah. That would be his opening gambit. He'd be in like a shop. There'd be a man from India serving. He'd go, have you ever considered taking Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Yeah. And then every once in a while he'd meet someone who goes, I have already. And then the two of them would be like an hour later, they'd still be talking about. That's
like the worst case scenario. Yeah. It's like, bang, they're back.
And as a teenager, I was like, oh, Dad, please.
Yeah.
Can you please stop?
But that's interesting. So like, because you got into everything very young, like all the performance stuff and like the theater sport. Well, for me,
yeah.
Like, is that like you think kind of a reaction to that, or did you just kind of always have that kind of passion for it?
No, it was just accidental. I think here's my theory.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's bittersweet theory. I was the youngest of three boys.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about the science of that, after you get past two children, the third, the fourth, there's a higher chance of them being gay or being effeminate. It's kind of scientific. It's been proven. So because of the mother's for the hormones in the mother while the mother's.
Oh right,
this is true.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's true. It's scientific. So it's theory.
It's theory. So, like all good science.
So, so knowing that, having read that, thought, well, I do feel I'm a little bit effeminate, but also I didn't realize this till I was in my 20s. My mother had told me, and I'm not sure how it came about, that when I was 4, she'd had another child, and it was going to be her daughter.
Right.
It was going to be her first daughter, and they were very excited about it. And I believe that the daughter was stillborn. Which is very common because it's like still back in the time we didn't have.
Yeah, both my parents had that.
My mother, and if my father sometimes listens to these podcasts, if my mother will not hear this. I felt so horrible for her because I realized she would be so desperate to have a little girl. She had 3 boys. My mother's a loving woman. That at age 4, I think I now look back and realize, I became her. I don't even know if she did this consciously, but my brothers we go to someone's house. My brothers would be off running around the backyard, and I was forced to sit with the adults with my hands, because I was very fidgety, with my hands under my legs, and speak to the adults. And then was told to get up, and then I'd recite a little poem or do a little dance or entertain people. And I think it's because my mother, I was kind of a surrogate. Somehow became a little bit of her what she wanted for her daughter, because my mother, when she was young, did a bit of ballet dancing, the way all kids.
Yeah.
For Christians, anyway.
Of course.
So I think that's so. I remember age 4 being when I got to Canada for school. They did Alice in Wonderland at the school concert.
Right.
And I was the only boy in the choir with all the girls, so they were all bluebirds.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had little bluebird wings, and I remember that my mum taking great. Yeah,
loving it. Your mum just being like, "This is great."
That might have some. That's my theory. So by the time I was 12, I also had a serious speech impediment.
Oh,
I had born with a clinical stutter and a lisp, and an overbite. So I couldn't speak properly.
Stutter, lisp, overbite.
Okay, I'll give. Yeah. I did this in my show. My speech impediment was that with that bad. Constant.
Wow.
So I got picked on all the time, and I went to different schools.
Yeah.
So I went for speech therapy when my parents were poor, properly working class. My dad would hate me saying that. Not poor, just didn't have money, but they were poor. Mince and potatoes.
Yeah, I got you.
But we ate. But he would say he'd take great care of us, but he did.
Yeah.
But we didn't have much money. So I would go to the school, in Canada we'd had school, I'd be able to take speech lessons. So by the time I was about 9, by about 11, I was able to speak properly.
Right.
So I also was I was like one of those kids. I had 2 older brothers, so I was read to the same level as my middle brother.
Yeah.
And I had the speech impediment. So by the time I could speak, I was like a know-it-all. Like you can see me now, I can't stop talking. I talk constantly. I've always forgot going, and I think the reason that my conversations veer off to the right and the left is because I still have a speech impediment, but when I can't think of what to say, I just take it off in a direction. I just did it there.
Yeah,
I take it off in a direction where I don't have to think about that. That's my speech pattern has become.
Right, you just say a different word, like don't go forward. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think my mind skips. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
So when I was 12, to get into and to answer your question, we went with a school group to Stratford upon Avon in Canadian Stratford Shakespeare Festival.
Right. They have upon Avons.
They have it upon Avon as well.
Yeah. Australia's got no upons.
It's called the River Avon.
The River Avon. There you go.
So we're there and it's like an 800 seat big festival
big old
theater, and it's got all these students from all over the place, and it's just mania. It's like crazy, and I'm one of the loudest this one, the frenetic, like I'm such a show off, desperate for love and attention for all these different reasons I've just given you. Then at one point, Nicholas Pennell, who's one of the famous Canadian Shakespearean actors who I got to meet in my life, actually. Before I'd met him, I was 12, he came down dressed as Ariel with these huge wings, came out of the gods, out of the ceiling, wham, and he came down and started this monologue. He's one of these booming Shakespearean Ariel voices, and the whole place went completely silent. And I remember having a moment where I thought, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to be in a room where I can just shut everybody up.
Yeah, you just want that power to be the center of...
Yeah, and now I'm a stand-up comedian. I guess it's similar.
It's a very similar thing. I mean...
It's all about me.
All about you. Well, I mean, that's funny, yeah, because people...
Bit selfish, really.
No,
I think
you're bringing joy to others.
No, I think it's true. I think you have to accept that comedians are desperate for the love and attention or whatever it is that drives them. Even if they're cynics or nasty comedians or provokers, there's something about them that needs to want to be liked by everyone. Even Jeremy Sadovich still gets up there because even though he's acting like I don't fuck you, he still desperately wants you to like him.
So like, hey, where are you going?
Yeah,
come back.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of a psychological mystery, and they psychologists try and take us apart all the time, but. Most of it's just because we want everyone to feel better.
Yeah, or like us. Yeah, I mean, because I think for me it's like come from my parents got divorced and stuff, and it's like it's that when there's tension, just removing it.
Yeah,
like that's like my thing. Like I don't really care about being the center of attention, but I like getting rid of if there's like a tension in a room and I can just say something that just gets rid of it for everybody. Sure. I'm like cool. That's a joy. It's not a popular
thing right now to be funny in comedy. So
that is the end of part 1. We're halfway through the chat with Phil Nichol. Obviously going pretty heavy on the backstory up top, going between Scotland and Canada, and his brethren parents. I didn't know about these brethrens. I don't know if we got brethrens in Australia, but certainly first I heard of it. Seems pretty sensible for very religious people. I think that's like my test for anyone who's very religious. Does it seem reasonable? Does it seem like they just kind of go about their business while being incredibly religious? If so, great. Enjoy it, man. I've got a very strong belief in the Fast and Furious movie franchise. It doesn't bother anyone else. And I think I'm entitled to that belief. That's probably insulting to quite a few religions there, comparing them to the Fast and Furious movie franchise. But let's just clarify the Lake Superior thing. I love a good clarification at the end of an episode. I did look up Lake Superior, and apparently the Ojibwe name for the lake is Gitchigami. And Kitchigami, like those are the kind of ways you can say it. It means Great Sea. That was the kind of native name for it. And the French took over a little bit, and then upon the British taking control of the region, they did the classic British thing and anglicized the lake's name to Superior. Because, and I quote, it's being superior in magnitude to any of the lakes in the vast continent. So there you go. Classic British shit. Win a war, rename some stuff, and then Daniel doesn't have to learn a second language. What a great day it is to be a native English speaker. So that was a little thing about Lake Superior there. And the other thing was Phil talking about the Moors versus the morals. I've put a little explanation on the difference between Moors and morals in the description for this episode. I will be back on Thursday with the second half of this conversation. Usually I would edit it down, but honestly, I found talking to Phil so fascinating. I refuse to ditch any of it. I want you guys to get 100% of that chat. So that'll be out on Thursday, the second chat, where he talks extensively about Corky and the Juice Pigs, his comedy band that hit the absolute heights of the comedy circuit It's very interesting, his take on it, and just how humble, I guess, he is with everything that happened. I don't know if you guys felt it. Maybe I felt it because I was in the room, but I definitely got that trained actor thing where I'm the only one here. He's talking to just me and is being incredibly honest. But yeah, so I'm excited for you guys to see the second part of that chat. As always, if you like the podcast, it means so much if you jump on Apple Podcasts, leave a review, iTunes, leave a review, Spotify, you can give us a follow, anything like that. Tell a friend, as I said before, and if you want to ever have a chat to me, if you've got any knowledge to drop on me, please go to muggletondaniel@gmail.com. You can get in touch with me there. And if you want to see me live, it's on my website, www.danielmuggleton.com. And you can get at me on Twitter or Instagram at Dan Muggleton. Not the Daniel, just the Dan Muggleton. Would you believe it? With a name like this, there's already those people on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, get in touch and I will reply to every single one of you. That much I promise. All right. First half of the chat with Phil Nichol done. I'll catch you jerk-offs on Thursday for the rest of that chat. Hope you enjoyed the opening stanza.